were coming back from Central Joburg. We'd arrived at the traffic lights and two guys arrived at the windows with guns. Put my husband behind the back seat and myself in the boot and drove off with us. My husband was stripped and hog-tied in a ditch. We're gone for a couple of hours and then they walked me into the bush in the dark. They then put the gun to my head, tried to shoot, the gun misfired, ran for my car and drove off, and I managed to escape. But yeah, that was my experience of crime in South Africa. I live in what we would call a gated community, I guess. So high walls put up, electric fencing all the way around. Between my alarm, panic buttons and the security we've installed, we're probably looking at, I would say, around 10% of my salary.
In South Africa, electric fences, panic buttons and armed guards are a part of everyday life. Towns and cities remain racially divided more than 20 years after the end of apartheid, when millions of black people were removed from white-only urban areas to live in crowded townships and homelands. With rapid population growth, those decades of segregated planning have made South Africa one of the most unequal countries in the world. This divide has made some cities more violent, boosting the rise of the private security industry, which employs nearly 500,000 guards across the country.
Radio test to confirm. How do you read me? Hello? How are you, ma'am? Good, thanks. Yeah, it's Pegu from Seven Arrows. I just saw your gate open.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
But is everything okay?
Everything is fine. I just forgot to close it. A visitor came in and I forgot to close it.
Okay, your name please, ma'am? Anna.
Yes.
Stay safe, Anna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. When there's an open gate like this, you will never know whom are you going to find in here. Sometimes you will find them standing at the gate like this. And when you open the gate, they are inside with you. Then they will grab you and finish you off. Sometimes it's kind of like painful knowing the situation that I'm staying in and going to protect somebody's apartment while I'm leaving mine without saying someone is looking after it. Sometimes when you get here, the gate, it's broken. We don't know who broke it. We don't have camera to go and check the footage. We don't have security to ask. So it's kind of like challenging, but we have to live with it.
My fear for this is it starts with employing your own security. It moves then towards you arming yourself. And it might sound a bit dramatic, but I do think that there is a risk of vigilante behavior starting to happen. So where people literally will take the law into their own hands.
The moment you shift into something where this is more enforced through privatized security forces, who is then actually telling those security forces to apply what kind of pressure in relation to individuals in public spaces, becomes very, very problematic. At some point you are not far from a kind of militia, and that's hugely anti-urban and problematic.
The best security initiatives I've been involved with are ones which activate community. It's a mistake to treat a security company as a silver bullet. This is not about bulletproof vests and guns and patrols. It's about developing families and social economic development. We're in a very, very difficult place because we're trying to do something positive, but we also have an economic model that we have to adhere to. And I guess that does make you vulnerable to people perceiving you as the segregator and the arm of people that want that separation and that segregation.